opposition parties led by the Congress met today to form a joint strategy against the Citizenship Amendment Act and a nationwide NRC. The whole event, though, became more about who showed up and who didn't. So, in attendance, apart from the Congress, were the NCP, RJD and the left parties. Choosing to skip was Mamata Banerjee's TMC, the Aam Aadmi Party and BSP, as well as the Congress's new ally in Maharashtra, Shiv Sena. But the real story isn't about who skipped and who came, because most opposition parties have already said very clearly that they oppose the CAA and NRC NPR combo. Even NDA ally and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has said just today that there is no need for a nationwide NRC. The real question is, where were opposition parties till now? Do these parties have a moral right to hijack a student-led movement after standing by while the controversial bill was being passed in Parliament? Have these parties woken up seeing ordinary people come out and protest while they have been sleeping at the wheel? And will this belated attempt to piggyback on the issue harm or help those who are fighting the CAA? To speak more on this, I'm joined this evening by Shaina NC of the BJP, Mahesh Tapse, spokesperson of the NCP, and Neerja Chowdhury, political analyst. Welcome to all of you and thank you for speaking with us on the show. Neerja, let me begin with you. And your thoughts on the basic premise I have laid out. Really, do these opposition parties have a role to play right now? And if they did, wasn't it in Parliament when the bill was being discussed, debated? They should have blocked it then.
Yes, absolutely right. And I agree with you that they're jumping on the student bandwagon. But jumping on it also matters and gives a fillip to the movement that the students are leading. And the students are the vanguard of that movement. There has been a huge amount of confusion in parties, and you look at even Nitish Kumar. Today he says no need for NRC. He's certainly shifted ground. Prashant Kishore has said the CA will not be implemented in Bihar. Now whether Nitish Kumar endorses that or not remains to be seen. But other parties also, Aam Aadmi Party we know has opposed it, but is treading very cautiously. Because there is a flip side to the story. There are many people who feel that the reason that the BJP may have formulated, the non-Muslim persecuted minorities in Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh in that way, instead of just leaving it at persecuted minorities, they've done it in a very calibrated, calculated fashion so as to be able to polarize with electoral gains in mind. Many people inside the BJP admit this, many people in the opposition suspect this. Now, if that is the case and if polarization is taking place, I think we need to watch whether it is taking place in sections in states like Uttar Pradesh. Then these parties in the opposition may want to tread carefully, whereas the student community is out in the open and, to them, the constitution has become the alternative narrative, the preamble to safeguard. Equality is a very important thing for the student community.
Exactly.
And excesses by the government have brought out even larger numbers.
No, but
therefore, their considerations are very different and the political parties are very differently.
No, but so look at this. You had a meeting today.
Yes, that is the point. It is the students who are leading this agitation.
So the question then is that with opposition parties coming to the fore, are they harming or are they helping? Because, it's the same old tired formula. I have Mahesh Tapse of the NCP here in the studio with me. Mahesh, the old tired formula, one meeting will be called. At that end of the meeting, we've decided 3 dates when there will be a nationwide dharna. Dharna is already happening since 3 months. Where were you guys?
We were in the Parliament, we were in the Lok Sabha and we were also in the Rajya Sabha. Contrary to what Neerja ji said, we didn't have the numbers to oppose the bill. But yes, we have the mandate, the constitution allows us to be on the road and to protest for something which we think is absolutely arbitrary and not in the interest of the nation and against the constitutional provisions. So yes, we could not oppose it in the Lok Sabha, we could not oppose it in the Rajya Sabha because we never had the numbers.
Mahesh, so when I'm speaking to you, to be fair, I'm speaking about the broader opposition. The Shiv Sena abstained. They
in
abstain.
the looks in the Rajya Sabha,
Yeah,
in the Rajya
yeah.
Sabha.
If the kind of parties and the numbers, if I were to correlate today the numbers to the political parties in the statements they're making and saying that they will not implement in their respective states, could something different have happened? It seems like a belated realization that this has become a people's issue, and as we claiming to be people's representatives should be on the right side of it.
See, the 2019 manifesto of the BJP spelled it very clearly what they wanted to do. We didn't get the mandate for the Lok Sabha, we couldn't form the government in the center. And whatever BJP said that it was going to do, it started implementing. It started with 370, it started with NRC. And then again, there was a different perspective. The BJP president said that they want to do the NRC across India. The Prime Minister intervened and said, no, it's only restricted up to Assam. And slowly and steadily, this movement against the entire CAA started picking up across various sections of the society, the intellectuals in the society.
But do you admit politicians had nothing to do with it?
No, politicians definitely they had to do. We have been speaking on various forums, whether it's the investors
forum. I'm talking about
forum.
the movement from
movements,
universities
it
to
has been
Bollywood.
happening.
So okay, let me get Shaina NC. In fact, Shaina NC, Mahesh has put forward an argument. I thought I'd hear from you. You're doing exactly what you said in your manifesto, but people don't like it. You're not listening to it.
What don't people like? They haven't understood what we have said to start with. And it's all very well for this opposition to be opposing now after a bill has turned into an act with full majority in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, which is also a constitutional provision. We are not pandering to vote bank politics. Citizenship Amendment Act is not anti any Indian. Every Indian citizen, irrespective of caste, creed, culture, is safe. So when I hear these bizarre stories about detention camps, Tamanna, let me finish, please. When I hear these bizarre stories about detention camps, I just wonder, what are you talking about? If there are, persecuted minorities in other countries that seek citizenship of India, then there is a due process as there is in any country. And this is not about polarizing. This, if at all, is against appeasement politics.
Okay.
For 70 years, you have seen
one minute, Shaina. The reason I'm stopping you is because we're currently not having a debate on the merits and demerits of CAA and NRC and whether your claims are right or not. My question to you is, if a large number of people clearly not fueled by opposition parties because they don't have the wherewithal to mount protests like this, even you know that. This large number of people come out. Should you not listen to people? Should you not listen to people instead of this fairly condescending attitude saying that you can't understand what I'm saying?
No, our Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji has spent 119 hours just drafting this bill. He's met with 140 NGOs. He's met with all political parties, big, small and otherwise. And you have parties like the Shiv Sena that are in a flip-flop mode. They themselves don't understand what they're doing. Sometimes they're supporting, sometimes they're opposing, sometimes they're coming, sometimes they're not. So I think parties that are bereft of ideology, and look at what Mamata Banerjee's statements have been. They're like that, oh, this is going to be a threat to the country. What violence are you talking about? You are encouraging violence for your vote bank politics. And there you have Sonia Gandhi, who chose not to speak in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and is trying to make a point now after everything is done.
No, okay, they have a right, like Mahesh said, they have a right to hold a meeting. They have a right to hold a meeting. What's the point? Mahesh, you want to respond to some of the things Shaina is saying? Because, the thing is, I'm not very sure today. The reason I'm asking this is, I'm not very sure if the attempt of opposition parties to hitch a ride on this is going to help or it's going to sort of tarnish the whole thing.
See, it's not an attempt to hitch a ride on the entire issue. We have been opposing it. We have opposed it in the parliament. We have opposed it in the Rajya Sabha. We have opposed it in various political forums across our party lines. And now, since it has become a national movement, the celebrities have moved in, the sports people have moved in, and the youngsters and the students are also joining the bandwagon. So they have understood the entire thing is against the constitutional provisions. So what is wrong if Amit Shah ji, the national president, and the home minister, who took so many hours.
One by one. Shaina, one by one. You always get a complete chance on my show. One by one.
So when the Home Minister has put in so many hours and he has met so many NGOs, why is it that so many in this country feel threatened by the CAA Act? Why is it that so many people are against it? So why are the core issues not being
I'm
addressed?
asking this question today. I'm not understanding what opposition parties are hoping to achieve. What are you hoping to achieve? All of this should have been done if the intent was there before the bill was on the floor of the House. Not just the Lok Sabha, not just the Rajya Sabha. It was passed not by a wafer-thin margin in the Rajya Sabha. With hefty numbers.
Of course, but we don't have the numbers to form the government. The bill would have got passed any which ways. We are only asking the government to listen to us. We are saying that we are not fully certain that this will be in the best interest for national integration. So this is the whole aspect of it.
Okay, Shaina, does it sort of help the BJP if the opposition comes on board? Because you get to say that, look, this is not just the people and students and celebrities. This is actually, opposition parties who are engineering all of this. Is that, campaign going to begin now?
See, Tamanna, in a country as diverse as India, you're bound to have contrarian opinions, and that's welcome. Legitimate voices of dissent are also welcome. Concrete criticism, welcome. But you choose not to even bring up anything in Parliament when our Home Minister wants to discuss. Our Prime Minister is sharing the concept of a gazette, which was also there in the past. And there you have this agitation after the bill is enacted. So what are we talking about? We are talking about only trying to hog the limelight with sensational commentary where you have Sonia Gandhi saying, oh, this divides the nation. How does it divide? If every Indian is safe, irrespective, up until 2014, India is not a dumping ground for people who believe that they can infiltrate and try to destabilize India. India is welcoming of religious minorities that are persecuted if they follow the due process, as do we if we choose to go to any other country too.
Yeah, but
so I don't understand
it's Shaina,
approach.
The reason I don't want to go into this is because then this is going to be a prolonged discussion on different lines. There are various questions. It's a question about why and how can you make sure that people of one religion can never be persecuted. Okay, and then in conjunction with the NRC, this has become a safety net. Why has the BJP, for example, you're saying we've explained, I have not heard from anyone saying that people left out of the NRC will not be quote unquote rescued via CAA, even if they belong to the religions mentioned in the CAA Act, which is Hindus, Parsis, Sikhs, Christians, etc. No one has come and said that either. That one statement could diffuse things.
Tamanna, just coming back to your earlier point, you said that, oh, we've not communicated. Now, if there is a certain segment and section that hasn't even read the draft bill or the act and have chosen to go on the streets and believe that, oh, this is against the fabric of India, then I think that is at its own level. There are lots of contrarian opinions of other experts who haven't been covered as much as they should have been. So I would only want to say, rather than getting into who said what, if there are certain parties that choose not to support, they may not. But the point is that it has been enacted and constitutionally every state has to implement. So I think if we want to get into the merits of the case, I can go on for hours. And you know that is a long debate.
Okay, one sec. Neerja, let me come back to you. Let me come back to you and where the debate is really going. Where do you see this going? And the fact that the Congress even today could not muster the entire quorum, so to speak, of opposition parties. It was a redux of April 2019, isn't it? The SP and BSP don't want to sit together. They did then, but it didn't work out for them. The Aam Aadmi Party is going to fight the Congress as well in Delhi, so they don't see any interest in turning up here. It's the TMC and the left in West Bengal. It's the same mess, which shows that politically, the opposition has not moved anywhere since May 2019. Neerja.
It could be differences between them, or it could be for a variety of other reasons. For instance, the Shiv Sena hasn't come, but the NCP, which is the coalition partner in government now in Maharashtra, they have come. So maybe they want to give two different kinds of signals. The opposition parties have their own reasons for what they are doing. overall, will they be able to support? Yes, any supporting voice will add weight to the movement as you've described it, that is being led by the students. Now, I think that everybody has gathered courage to speak out, much more than they did probably in Parliament, because of the student movement, because of the traction it's getting. And young people in India, very important, and have been a very important constituency of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And I think that's where probably I'm surprised that he's not reached out to the young people in a more direct fashion, because as we keep saying, 50% of India is under 25, and Mr. Modi has reached out to the millennials 18 to 25 in a big way repeatedly. So if they are getting agitated, they are exercised, they are not understanding what he's saying, that it is not against anybody, no Indian citizen, then somewhere some dialogue is called for, I think.
Yeah.
So also a dialogue with the chief ministers in the country. I'm a bit mystified that the Prime Minister hasn't taken those initiatives.
Seemingly clueless opposition is no excuse for the government of the day to ignore the voices of citizens and just assume they're not legitimate. I hope that is a message that is reaching. What the opposition parties will do, they will do. Obviously, when the youth vote is at stake, everyone wants to jump in on that bandwagon. It may not be so easy to pass on your message this time round. I want to thank all of you for joining us on the debate. We'll be watching this space.